This is the video to teach our Alito ISD teachers how to make a teacher web page. And this will start from the beginning and show you all the little steps. So if you're beginning into this for the first time, then here's how you will handle making your teacher web page. First off, I'm just at alitoisd.org. And so then I'm going to go down here to the bottom and I can see this toolbar, and one of the options is sign in. So I'm going to go to that, and I believe what I put in is just my regular way that I get into my computer. I'm not positive. Hopefully, if you were in new teacher training, they showed you what you needed to do to get signed in there. So we get signed in. Once we get signed in, there's this My Options, and we will click on that and go to Site Manager. So that brings up this page that is going to show all the different and allow me to edit all the different pieces or the components to my personal Alito ISD web page. So let me show you the end product, what that's going to look like. So hopefully by the end of this training, you will know how to get your welcome page set up, and I'll show you what we want to put on that. We'll want to include your name and your paragraph here, picture, the subjects taught. Over here under the picture was my basic information here, and degrees and certifications, and my daily schedule with class periods. All right, and then also you should have your lesson plan, your link to the student viewable lesson plans for each course that you teach. So if you teach more than one class, then you'll have that student access for the lesson plans for each one of those courses. All right, so let's go ahead and go on back to your Blackboard site where this is where you're editing everything. And so I'm going to teach you how to just start new. We're going to use this tab here for a new page. So I'm going to click New Page. I'm going to title this new page. And so for me, you would just put welcome. I'm going to put welcome practice. Okay. And notice that for the welcome page, we want to use this about the teacher. So click about teacher, and it doesn't do anything. You have to go down to the bottom, scroll down to the bottom where it says save and continue, and click that, and it will bring up this about the teacher. So you can click the little pencil for editing. Okay, so then you can name yourself. I'll just do something silly since I'm going to delete this. Okay, and then type your bio, whatever you want to do. Okay, so that's where you'll put this. And all right, now the other thing that we want to include on this, and so let me show you the items that you're going to include. You're going to have your paragraph or whatever you want to include about yourself. And then underneath that, you're going to put your subjects taught and so on. So notice that you have, the features such as bolding and underlining and all that kind of stuff. So here is my paragraph about myself. Okay, I actually don't like bling on my pants. I'm not a very blingy person. All right, so you have that paragraph about yourself, and then you will also have your degrees and certifications. So somewhere you're going to want your degrees and certifications. Let me just show you what my completed information looked like in editing mode so you can see how mine looked. So I had put Miss Mary McClellan. Then, hi, my name is so on and so forth. So here was my little paragraph. And then underneath that, I bolded subjects taught, and I put what I was teaching there. Okay. And then underneath that, I put the daily schedule. Okay, and I then had all of that. Got it. Figured out where that certification information was. Okay, so again, here's the About Me section and my photograph. I think we're supposed to have a school picture, so not your fancy glamour craft shot or what were those ones with the big hair and all the fancy doodads back in the 80s, okay, or 90s. If you go up here to the details, that details is where then I put email, phone number, and then the degrees and certifications. So you're just going to arrow on down. And unfortunately, I can't get lots of fancy I'm sure I would have tried to underline that if I had that option, but it's not giving me nice different options for the text. All right. So that is your About Me page, your welcome page. So once that's complete, then you have something that looks like this. All the information you could possibly want to give everybody. Now, let's talk about how to get this lesson plans page so that it will link directly to your plan book, okay? And it will do the student view. So notice that, of course, when it enters plan book, it defaults to the current week. And the current week does not have any plans because we're not in school yet. So I have it viewable for future weeks. So I'm able to forward and see what I have here. If you have shareable for only the current week, then when you click to the next week, there will also be nothing there until Sunday night. All right. So let me show you then how to get your web page to get this lesson plans. So here we go. Let's go ahead and set it up first. So what I'm going to do is on my Blackboard page, which is where I have all of my editing, I'm going to click and add a new page. And that new page is going to, if you look here as your options, I don't want to do the About Teacher. I'm going to do a blank page. Okay, this blank page, and then you have to scroll down to the bottom to save and continue. Oops, I didn't enter a page name. So I'm going to do AP Statistics. So the course dash lesson plans. All right, so now maybe it'll be happy. Save and continue. So here we go. So here's the deal. So I had thought at one point that we would want to add over here, the link or that kind of use one of these apps over here. But actually what we want to do is to fix the page options on here. I want to make it so that when students click on this link, this page, it actually just takes them straight to my plan book student view. So what you do then is if you look up here in the right hand section, it has a circle with 3 little dots. And if you click that circle with 3 little dots, page options comes up and you have the page name, but down here, about 3/4 of the way down the page, it says map the page to a particular web address. And that is where you want to fill in the shareable link from your plan book. So let me remind you how to get that. So in another tab, I'm going to go over in another tab and log on to plan book and go to sharing options, and I want to do this view for the students. That makes it so they can't edit it. Whoever's going to this particular page, it's just viewable for students. It does have the links to web pages or the documents that I've attached and so on. So I don't think you have to have a viewing key. I'm not sure. I don't think that. View information, I'm having them do all the items so that all the things that I have listed in my displayed will show up. And then down here, the viewing range, all prior weeks. 2, you have the option. I put all future weeks because I'm fine with them going out in the future. But if you're working week by week and you're just doing the current week at a time, then you may put current week. Keep in mind that since this is Thursday and it's before school starts, they'll only be able to see through tomorrow. So you won't be able to actually have the students see lesson plans yet until next week. You could put future 1 week if you're staying 1 week ahead, and then they would be able to see the next week. All right. Remember that you download the link, and I had saved this onto my desktop, by the way, or you could email it to yourself. So let me explain. This top little section right here is if you want the link for students to be able to view everything you have in Planbook. All of the classes, I should correct that, all of the classes you have in Planbook. All right, but I just want my students to pull up the AP statistics lesson plans. I do not want them to also pull up the regular statistics lesson plan. So I'm going to use this link for the AP statistics lesson plans. I use Control C to copy. Okay. Now, go in your tab back to where we were here, Page Options. Now, I'm going to demonstrate for you another way you could actually get to this. Say you had been closed out and you were back to this spot. I come down here. Look, here's my AP Statistics lesson plans. Here to the right, Actions, Page Options. So that's another way I could get back to Page Options. And again, right here, about 2/3 of the way down or so, this is where I want to Control V and paste that link in. And then make sure you hit save. So now what happens is I have my welcome page, and when the students hit this AP Statistics lesson plans, it will take them to the current week of Planbook. And if you have it set so that it is viewable for the next week, they can click the right arrow and go see next week's lesson plans. And so this is where my students then are able to look, if they have been absent, they can see what they missed and get the links for whatever they need to and the assignments and such. All right, so that is the basics of how to add your welcome page and your lesson plan page. Now, you will repeat that process if you needed to add a new page for your second prep lesson plans, then you would do that same process that I just finished out. So I hope that this has been an informative video to allow you to have an updated welcome page and get your lesson plans page.